Over this period, there has been substantial technological advances in computers, which are apparent in the vast differences between computers from 1980 and 2023. It's hard to imagine how powerful and compact our computers are today in comparison to the computers of 1980. Despite their simplicity by modern standards, they represented an important development in computing technology at the time. Meanwhile, computing technology in 2023 has significant improvement because of today's developments. Let's go further and talk about what were the biggest changes on these computers as we compare the 1980 computers versus 2023 computers. Early personal computers built by IBM, Apple, Commodore, and others entered the consumer market in the late 1970s and early 1980s. Buying them was fun, cool, and experimental. However, they were also manual and slow. They were standalone units with proprietary features. Large floppy disks were used to transfer data at the time, which slowly shrank in size and format when integrated with future systems. During the 1980s, computers had only 4.7 MHz processors with 2 kilobytes of RAM. Programmers had to write programs line by line, and they couldn't save them. There were also some challenges when it came to debugging. Commodore 64 was the first real powerful machine introduced in the 80s, when IBM was the top computer manufacturer. 1982 saw the release of the Commodore 64, also known as the C64, the next generation of personal computers from Commodore. The C64 had only 64 kilobytes of RAM, but its graphics abilities made it popular. With the C64, Commodore International launched the most iconic and best-selling home computer in the history of personal computers. More than 22 million units were sold around the world, with thousands of software programs. C64s came with Commodore's basic programming language and were compatible with a large library of software distributed on cartridges, cassettes, and floppies. As well as being used as a gaming console, it was also used for word processing, programming, educational software, and a lot more. In terms of graphics and sound, the C64 had a 320 by 200 pixel screen with 16 colors and sprites. For music and video games, the CID chip allows 3 voice sound synthesizers. Gamers, hobbyists, educators all benefited from its affordability and versatility. Prior to that, the IBM 5150 personal computer also changed the computer landscape forever in 1981. With the IBM personal computer, more than 40 years ago, IBM did something very new and different. The company sacrificed its conventional methods to produce in large quantities an extremely competitive and top-quality tiny computer for businesses and consumers. IBM's 5150 personal computer, called the IBM PC, was one of the first mass-produced widely available computers. It was introduced on August 12, 1981, and is widely regarded as a milestone in the history of computing. According to the IBM archives, the IBM 5150 was one of the first personal computers. It had a display, a printer, up to 2 diskette drives, and more. The 5150 was much smaller, lighter, less expensive than its predecessors from 2 decades earlier, weighing 21 to 28 pounds. The story of this computer came when IBM recognized the need for smaller, more affordable computing solutions. To compete in this emerging market, IBM assembled a team of engineers led by Don Estridge. In just under a year, the team developed the IBM 5150 within a tight deadline and with limited resources. The result was a versatile, powerful, and accessible computer that revolutionized the industry by using off-the-shelf components and standardized parts. Despite the fact that personal computers were initially created for hobbyists, IBM's new offering was also a business tool with advanced features that made it very appealing to a wide range of users from the outset. Despite the rapid growth of the information processing industry, IBM was determined to compete in the fast-growing market for PCs. As well as that, it was also in the 80s that Apple introduced its first computer, the Macintosh, and has since then dominated the computer industry to this day. It was created by Apple employee Jeff Raskin in the 1970s, who wanted a cheap and easy-to-use computer for everyone. The Macintosh 128K was announced in October 1983 and introduced in January 1984. Featuring a keyboard, a mouse, and a small 9-inch screen, the first Macintosh computer was a dazzling display of technical wizardry. According to Consumer Reports, with its Windows and icons interface, the computer weighed 22 pounds and cost $2,495. Apple Inc. produces a number of personal computers called Macs. With its mouse and graphical user interface, it was the first commercially successful personal computer to feature 2 known but still unpopular features. GUIs were Macintosh's most significant innovation, allowing users to interact with the system using icons, windows, and a mouse instead of text-based commands. It had 128 kilobytes of RAM and no internal hard drive, relying on floppy disks for storage. It used a Motorola 68000 microprocessor running at 8 MHz and featuring a 9-inch monochrome display. A keyboard and built-in screen were part of its compact all-in-one design. In addition to the Finder, Mac Paint, and Mac Write, Apple introduced many software innovations. These applications demonstrated the power of the GUI and made document and image management easy. Compared to other personal computers, the first Mac had very little memory, couldn't be expanded easily, and did not have a hard drive. The Mac was enhanced to 512 kilobytes in October 1985, but expansion was difficult and inconvenient. Apple released the Macintosh Plus on January 10, 1986 for $2,600 to improve compatibility. The computer also had a parallel SCSI interface, which enabled it to connect up to 7 peripherals, such as hard drives and scanners, along with 1 megabyte of RAM. In 2023, computers are expected to be even faster, likely based on advanced architectures and with a greater number of cores. In today's Mac world, Mac OS is Apple's modern operating system, which features Siri integration and Mac App Store, as well as seamless integration in other Apple devices. Since switching from Intel to its own processors, Apple has overhauled its entire product range. The combination of hardware and software features makes Mac so popular. Mac's elegant and sturdy hardware design, which includes materials such as aluminum and glass, is known for its attention to detail and use of premium materials. In addition to a comprehensive selection of creative and productivity software, Apple's developer tools have led to a thriving community of app developers. It's also often noted that Macs have improved performance and energy efficiency through their use of custom-designed processors, such as the M1. For some Mac models, Apple uses custom-designed processors such as the M1 chip, which is extremely energy efficient and software compatible. As Apple's first system on a chip, SoC, the M1 chip is based on ARM technology, which represents a significant departure from its previous Intel-based processors. By designing the M1 chip in-house, Apple was able to optimize it specifically for their hardware and software needs. As part of the M1 chip, there is an 8-core graphics processor, which provides high-performance graphics for tasks such as gaming and video editing, among others. Computers are also expected to be more proficient at natural language processing, image recognition, and personalization thanks to AI and machine learning. Quantum computers, which are not yet widely used by consumers, also have the potential to revolutionize fields like cryptography, materials science, and optimization. Today, as a leading player in computing, information technology, and related services, IBM's focus extends to soft computing, AI, quantum computing, and more. IBM helps companies in more than 175 countries gain an edge on their industry by leveraging data insights, streamlining processes, reducing costs, and gaining competitive advantage. Over 4,000 government and corporate organizations use IBM Hybrid Cloud Platform and Red Hat OpenShift to transform their businesses, with IBM clients have access to breakthrough innovations in AI, quantum computing, cloud solutions, and consulting. As a leader in quantum computing, IBM has developed and made quantum computers available for research and experimentation. It's likely that quantum computing will revolutionize computers in areas such as encryption and efficiency. The IBM team demonstrates that a quantum computer can outperform classic simulations by learning from errors. In order to simulate spin dynamics in a material model and predict properties such as magnetization, the team used IBM Quantum's 127 superconducting qubit Eagle quantum processor. A team of UC Berkeley scientists performed the simulation simultaneously on the National Energy Research Scientific Computing Center. The IBM quantum system produced accurate results with advanced error mitigation techniques, even as the scale of the model increased, whereas classic computing methods eventually faltered. To further enhance, as recently as last year, IBM launched its 433 qubit Osprey quantum processor, replacing the Eagle processor from 2021. In contrast to classical computers, this processor can run complex quantum computations. As a point of reference, IBM Osprey processors require classic bits far greater than the total number of atoms in the universe to represent a state. Towards a goal of 4,000 plus qubits by 2025 and beyond, IBM quantum systems will surpass existing physical electronics capabilities. The IBM quantum system, too, will combine multiple processors into a single system with communication links, making it modular and flexible. Through a modular architecture and quantum communications, the system will scale quantum computing, which will be operational by the end of 2023. Have you ever had the experience of owning a computer from the 1980s? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.